So 3 Americans and 2 Hungarians. Marco Filippovic not getting the nod to start this game, but he does tend to come in off the bench for Kasper Okorn. He's been around the houses. He's coached in Poland, Kuwait, and Latvia, as well as his native Slovenia. And now here in Hungary. A bit of a fiery temperament, so we'll need to see if that's on in the background there. An interesting shooting background at one end. Will certainly be something that the home players are familiar shooting at. Take a look at the visitors. They'll have had their, so that's the home club, Falco. Brindisi will have had, of course, their warm-ups and begin to familiarize yourself with that sort of background, but it's rather different than having fans at both ends as you'd be used to. This building now 14 years old. Falco very much the top tenants in this building. Bit of an old bandbox arena, very rectagonal, very close sight lines, good looks for everybody around the court. At the players on display as players now positioning themselves around the center circle. And as the fans down, we will have that minute silence for Kobe Bryant.
A kosárlabda világ gyászolja a legendás játékos Kobe Bryant halálát. Ezen a héten minden kosárlabda bajnokok ligája
Beautifully observed, and more than a little moving as we get ready for the start of game day 13 in the Basketball Champions League season. 2 games to go, and Brindisi will take the first possession of this game through Adrian Banks, the 6'3", 33-year-old American shooting guard who sometimes plays the point. And just as we saw in the NBA immediately after the news of Kobe Bryant's death, the 24-second shot clock violation taken voluntarily by Brindisi. It was Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs, I think, who did it first, but Kobe, of course, who wore the number 24. Beautiful gesture for both clubs here. Also had the number 8 at the start of his career, so the 8-second violation there against Szombathely. Really a beautiful moment here to start what is a crucial game for both teams, but we just say goodbye to the first 36 seconds, and now proper basketball can break out. Darius Thompson kicking the pass across, and here we go. Banks up top into Ikanji, who throws the ball away. First turnover for the Italian, Iris Ikanji. Played in Lega Due last year, the 2nd division in Italy. And an early turnover for him puts Szombathely in possession. Curry into Redick. The right-handed floater misses. Rebound pulled down by John Brown. Vegas, pardon, that was Tyler Stone with the board. Kanji into Stone. Kicks outside, the open look for 3, misses. Rebound fought for, and last off of Stone. Thought it was going to be Falco's ball, indeed it is. So still waiting for the first points of this game. Here's Redick in the paint, has position and gets the ball up and in. So Javonte Redick, who has a pair of 22-point games in this year's BCL. Strangely, as we see the three-point look from outside, drained down. That is Tyler Stone from distance. I'm going to say Redick actually, when he scores more than 16 points in the BCL this year, Szombathely has lost all 4 of those games. 5-3 when he doesn't score that many points, which might just be a statistical anomaly. But Redick inside, he's blocked on the baseline by Stone, and then taking the ball back with a foot on the sideline. So Walter Brindisi has some full court pressure. Well, knocked away from Darius Thompson by Benedict Varady. Now good outlet pass to Gaspardo. Now Stone outside for Thompson. 8 on the shot clock as Stone drives off the glass, misses, rebound the pull down. The turnaround gets the kind bounce. So first bucket for Rafael Gaspardo. And Brindisi up 5-2 in the early going here. Devon Washington into the paint. The dipsy-do scores off the glass. So Devon Washington, in his first year in Hungary, gets on the board. Banks for the Italian club. Goes inside, then kicked wide for the high arcing three, which misses everything from Gaspardo. Curry in transition. The tip, no. Rebound pulled down by Gaspardo. And a possible alley-oop, not slammed home. Stone reaching, didn't time his jump quite right. And at the other end, foul on the floor as Varady drew the contact from Gaspardo. Rafael Gaspardo, technically an Italian international. He played 1 game, 5 minutes for Italy in World Cup qualifying this past cycle. In fact, they give Varady the chance to shoot 2, and he makes the first. The 72% career free throw shooter and Hungarian international. 8 games played in recent World Cup qualifying efforts. Misses the second, a rebound taken by Stone. Tyler Stone with 2 game-winning buckets in this year's BCL. Mentioned the three-pointer last week. Also had a tip-in at the buzzer against Bonn back on game day 2. As Curry, it's a good idea with the pass. Clumsily taken down off of Washington, but Szombathely gets the hoop. And they lead 7-5. Three-pointer is long from Brindisi. Washington whips inside to Curry, or beg your pardon, Redick backing in, and then the fadeaway goes down. So Redick with 4. First player with multiple baskets in this game. Hungarian lead is the biggest at 4, and the steal by Washington. He is bumped and gets the 14-footer to fall. So Devon Washington, whose best effort this season was at Brindisi on game day 6 in the reverse fixture between these two clubs. Now he gets the ball off another turnover from Happy Casa Brindisi. Kicked far side for a 3, swish by Varady. Benedict Varady with 6 points and a timeout taken by Frank Vitucci and Happy Casa Brindisi. 9 points quickly. The Falco Szombathely lead.
Something to with the right energy. Come on, we play 70%. It's not enough. Coming off the screen to shoot. Coming off the screen to shoot. Oh, in between. We jog and they run, huh? Come on, guys. Not the question of what we do on offense. We gotta do it better. Much better, with more aggressiveness. Offensive-wise first. When we attack, when we shoot and everything. Oh, yeah. Let's play be horse side, okay? Be the handle. Be available. If he's under pressure, step out for a catch, and then attack down to that.
Falco on a 12-0 run right now, coming out of the timeout. Most acrobatic of those points scored by Washington, but then Varady only shooting 27% from three in the BCL this year before tonight. Makes his first three-point attempt. And again, the full court pressure look. Now backed off of as Thompson will bring the ball up court. Awkward looking shot there. Rebound taken by Washington. His pass just about gathered by Curry, but gives away, and then positioned by Washington, but he's whistled for the foul. Szombathely last week in their home win, or home loss rather, against Besiktas. They actually had a double-digit lead in the first quarter then. And Besiktas able to rally all the way back. Final score 83-79. As strong move to the hoop, not converted by Banks, but the rebound up and in from Stone. So Stone now with 5 points. And the entry pass stolen by Tyler Stone. That was careless from Varady. And Thompson can't finish, but Stone again with the offensive glass. And the putback, so he now leads all scorers with 7. And Brindisi back within 5 points here with under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Running one-hander by Zoltan Perel gets the Week 7 BCL MVP on the score sheet here tonight. At 21 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds against Neptunus. Back in game day 7. That's an open look outside for 3 for Brindisi. And it's Thompson, the reigning Dutch MVP, the Netherlands DBL. Averaging 20 points per game last year with Leiden. As Perel left alone, he responds from distance for Falco. Perel, the Szombathely native, in his 3rd spell with his hometown team. Perel has played in Italy with Orlandina, as well as in Spain with Movistar Estudiantes. As that floater misses for John Brown. And then inside, position but not the basket. Varady, I think it is, going to the line as you see the three-pointer from Thompson. 37.5% three-point shooter in his career, but Perel not too shabby from outside as well, and it's actually Perel who was fouled and goes to the line to shoot 2 free throws here. Perel, a career free throw shooter, over 80%, but less than 72% in this year's BCL. Gets the second to rattle around the rim and down. We certainly expected to see a lot of points in this game. Brindisi scoring at least 88 points in each of its last 8 BCL games. They're one of only 2 clubs in the competition to have allowed opponents to shoot at 50% or higher from the field. As that 3 swished through by Tyler Stone. So Brindisi back within 5 with now less than 2 minutes left in the opening quarter. Strong move, the reverse, not in from Reddick. But he's fouled by Stone. His first personal. And so Reddick to the charity stripe for Falco Szombathely. Can't get the first one down. He's had some struggles recently in the Hungarian league. Only had 6 points on Saturday against KTE Duna. It's a second one to go. Fouled out a week ago Saturday at Kaposvari. Only 4 points to his name, but he's been in double digits in the BCL more often than not this year. And he's driving the paint. Campo Grande into the game. The little bunny missed. The rebound does go down. And the steal also by Dominique Sutton. Playing only his second BCL game for Brindisi as that 3 misses. And Stone poked in the eye as the ball came down. Didn't hear a whistle, but you see there, it was Quentin Hooker for Falco with the rebound. And referees calling the foul on the floor, so Brindisi retains possession, and in the paint, a bounce not kind to Luca Campogrande, but he will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Brindisi trying to get back within 2 points for the first time in this first quarter since it was 7-5. Luca Campogrande had a very good game against PAOK last week. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists in only 17 minutes of action. The 23-year-old, he's only ever started 5 games in Lega A. Played with Cidigas Avellino last year. But he brings Brindisi back within 2 as the foul on the perimeter against Perl. Szombathely not yet in the bonus. So it'll be Benke to inbound. Nearly a steal, and it is taken away by the player who now moves forward and gets the dunk, Dominique Sutton. Game all square, 21 apiece inside the final minute of the opening quarter. Quentin Hooker drives, kicks, and the flush by Reddick with authority. Reddick, the high percentage shot, gives him 7 on the game. Brindisi probably should think about going 2 for 1 here. And in fact, driving the lane, and the beautiful one-handed finish there from John Brown. I beg your pardon, Adrian Banks. They've got Brown with the number 00 and Banks with the single 0 in the squad. But I haven't seen a lot of John Brown in this game. But there is a 4-second difference between shot and game clock. As losing possession was Perl as he drove, but the ball out of play off of Thompson. The Szombathely lead was as big as 9 points in this first quarter at 14-5. And you see Dominique Sutton, only signed from San Pablo Burgos in Spain on the 12th of December, did Sutton. And 12 points and 6 rebounds in his only BCL game back on game day 10 against Dijon. Clock ticking down. The three-pointer is in from Marco Filippovic. And the clock will tick down. Filippovic gets his first points of the game, and they give Falco Szombathely the 26-23 lead at the end of 10 minutes of action. Szombathely, excellent shooting performance in that first quarter. Again, the problem for Brindisi in the BCL this year has been team defense. Take a look at some of the highlights from the opening quarter. Juvonta Redick, 7 points to lead all Szombathely scores. Devon Washington with 4 on 2 of 2 shooting. Another fade away from Redick as Falco built their first quarter lead. Other leading scores in the game, Varady with 6, Harrell with 6 for Szombathely. As for Brindisi, when they made their comeback, Tyler Stone already up into double figures with 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting, including 2 of 2 from deep. Darius Thompson, that was his only bucket of the first quarter with 3 points to his name. Haven't seen John Brown in this game yet, curiously, for Brindisi. Interesting decision that from Frank Vitucci. But apart from Stone, it's only Sutton with 4, Thompson with the 3, and then 2 for each of Gaspardo, Capagrande, and Banks. That was the impressive drive by Adrian Banks. One of 6 Americans in the Brindisi squad for tonight's game. Falco Szombathely have 5, and you do wonder how many of them looked up to Kobe Bryant as they were starting their basketball careers and journeys through AAU ranks to college, into European waters here. Tricky shot that by Quentin Hooker. But Hooker scores his first points of the game to extend the Szombathely lead to 5 early in the second quarter. Good post position here. Look at the muscle being exerted against Filippovic. Dominique Sutton has come to the party here on BCL Game Day 13. Played his college basketball at Kansas State for 3 years before transferring to North Carolina Central, the historically all-black school in the MEAC Conference. 2012, he ended his college career. He's played in the Greek League. He's played in the Philippines, and Germany, and France, and Spain, and Lithuania. Most recently with St. Pablo Burgos as he gets both free throws. And Brindisi back within 3. Hooker drives, floats, and misses, but again, I thought he'd drawn contact, but no, the foul goes against Falco. It was a push underneath. So Campagrande to inbound again with Jasper Okorn showing the full court pressure look. Man-to-man defense by Hooker is intense. And now a second foul in the first 50 seconds of the second quarter against the hosts here in Hungary. Crowd not happy. Are they ever, as Sutton takes the ball against Filippovic. Again, he's backing in. He's got the size disadvantage, but uses his strength. Sets up the three-point kick outside to guess who? Tyler Stone. 13 now for the 28-year-old American. Stone, one of only 3 players in BCL history to record at least 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in a game, as Sutton slams that ball home. And Brindisi turned it all the way around. They are on a 7-0 run, and they lead this game by 2. Harrell, good kick outside. Filipovic for 3. Yes! .6% from 3 in the BCL this year coming into this game, Filipovic. But from the other end, wow, Tyler Stone. What scoring records is he going to set tonight? That great game against Baskets Bond is the attempted one-hander from Quentin Lake into the game. Then the steal and in from Darius Thompson, and Falco must take a timeout surely, and they do. The run extends to 12-0 for Brindisi. Falco had the 12-0 run in the first quarter. Brindisi rallying in the second.
You know what? You are just crying. Foul here, foul not. On the other side, whenever you make the foul, they push him on the free throw line. Just cry. On the other side, losing the ball, they are more aggressive than you. Put the ball down, pass outside, don't shoot three-pointer, but play defense one-on-one. This I taught you 3 days. Fuck off, eh? Or start to fight, or do all the three are doing everything without get.
Well, I mentioned that Gasper Okorn had a bit of a temper. Just good shooting from Tyler Stone, and then question, was Quentin Hooker fouled before the spin-a-ramna jam by Sutton? Filipovic, for his part, now with 6 points in the game, as Brindisi showing the full court trap, but then backing off. So Perel forward for Szombathely, over to Hooker, then gets it back. Contact in the lane. So Szombathely gets another 14 seconds to deal with. It's a slightly different level of competition than Szombathely's used to. They are 16-1 in the Hungarian First Division. 2-game lead on Kormend, the only team to beat them this year, as floater goes down from Perl. 14th of December, Kormend's winning 83-70 at home against Szombathely. So you'd figure that those two might be the last 2 teams standing in the Hungarian playoffs this season. Driving, tough shot there by Thompson, not in. Rebound taken down by Filipovic. And he's fouled by Campagrande. Whistles coming out a little bit more here in this second quarter than they did in the first. Bit of a professional foul, you could say, there by Campagrande, who 3 times this year has gone into double figures in scoring, including at home to PAOK last Tuesday. I see they called it intentional in the end, and it's not converted by Filipovic. .74% career free throw shooter. He gets 1 of 2. Probably a good call for my money. Not a lot of effort there by Campagrande to play the ball. So Szombathely a chance to retake the lead here. Perel trapped outside, but finds Filipovic. He'll shoot from distance, but this time misses. Rebound grabbed down by Thompson. Campagrande for three. Yes! Luca Campagrande. Sinner at one end, Saint at the other. Back to a joint biggest lead of the game for Brindisi, 38-34. Filipovic kicks, look for three, missed. Off the top of the backboard, rebound gathered by Sutton. Sutton at full stretch. Now a chance for Brindisi to set up the offense. Sutton, isolation, into the paint, and can't get the bounce off the back iron. Rebound was by Daquan Lake, and Peril looking for Lake in the paint, instead outside for Hooker. Lake 6'10", the American setting the high screen, and Peril with space, but rejected. And that is John Brown into the game in a big way. Peril seemed to have a clear route to the basket, but Brown said, no thank you. And Peril pleading his case. He's going to go to the bench, and I think Brindisi's going to take possession here. So all the more impressive, that defensive play by Brown. His 28th birthday today, John Brown. Maybe his birthday present was a first quarter rest. As Sutton goes down and loses control. Wins the ball back though, banks the no-look kick far side for three. Good shots by Alessandro Zanelli, who had 11 points last week against PAOK, and shows up here with his first 3 points of the game. Ball bumped backcourt, but off a Brindisi player, so Falco regains, and the position defensively, the charge drawn by John Brown. Stood his ground against Benka, who tumbled Brown down to the ground. Now, was Brown set there? Was shifting his center of gravity toward the sideline when contact was made. It's one of those very difficult calls for a referee to get right 100% of the time. But now we've got a travel there as Sutton lifted his pivot foot. So Brindisi can't build upon a 7-point lead they now have. Another little 6-0 run Brindisi's on at present. Already back into the game as Filipovic outside. And another call on the ground, an elbow thrown. Falco Szombathely losing all discipline here. Benka with 2 fouls checks out. Beg your pardon, that was Benka's 3rd foul. Is the graphic on the screen correct? And so that's a tough blow for Gasper Okorn to swallow, as floater there, high off the glass. Is that basket interference? Banks getting the roll, or rather Brown. Was it stuffed home? I'm not sure, but you see the second chance points for Brindisi, 12-0. Actually, Falco with a higher rate of second chance points this season on average, as the floater there goes in from Benedek Varady. Varady now with 6 in this game. Pick and roll there for Campagrande, who goes strong to the hoop and lays it in. Timeout taken. After the strong move, grasping the ball to his chest and then floating the banked layup in, Luca Capagrande gives Brindisi the 9-point advantage with 3:27 left in the second quarter.
We are jerking our dicks, okay? Yeah? Staying, I don't know what the fuck we want. Yeah? They are too much they are more aggressive than we. This is a ridiculous. Ridiculous is this. They will score 100 points. So I don't know. Let's go.
Well, apologies for some of the language there being used in English by Gaspar Okorn. But obviously that's the severity of the situation that Falco Szombathely faces. Note, by the way, that Besiktas with a 33-28 lead right now against Neptunus, that other key game here in BCL Group D. As kick outside, that's good movement to find Peril from deep, and he misses. Rebound taken down by Sutton, and he gets the left-handed layup down. Sutton into double figures with 10 points. And the double-digit lead for Brindisi. Curry just about rescues the ball to Varady with 8 on the shot clock. Redick floated off the screen, but Peril all alone for the one-handed flush. Defensive breakdown there for Brindisi as Peril into double figures, and the turnover forced. Ball not inbounded in time, I think, by Sutton. So the quick response, offense, then defense from Falco. That's what Coach Okorn wanted to see. So Sutton a bit frustrated as he goes to the bench. 10 points on the game. That screen was set illegally on the perimeter there by Devon Washington, former Ohio Bobcat. Washington in the American collegiate system. Zanelli manning the point now for Brindisi as Brown went inside the dish, and then the bump underneath the basket. Foul committed by Redick. His first of the game. But Brindisi already shooting free throws here. That's a hip check. That's a perfectly fair call. As Capagrande to the line. Misses the first quite badly. Had been 10 of 12 in BCL free throw shooting. Capagrande coming into this game this season. It's the second. And the Brindisi lead back to double figures. Approaching the final 2 minutes of this first half. Vardy drops off to Peril. Peril again inside and one. Not quite an unmolested route to the basket, but even better result from Falco's perspective. So Peril given a chance to complete a three-point play. Missed though off the front rim. Rebound by Stone, who's back in the game. Zanelli. Nice screen set by Brown, then floats inside. Good ball movement here to Stone. But then the interception, turnover forced by Vardy. Peril to look inside. Kick was by Washington, but the pass went awry. Looking for the return to Zoltan Peril. Fine margins in this game. That could have led to Szombathely drawing back within 6. You see 11 turnovers already for the hosts here. As Brown, not aware the ball was coming back to him, did well to retain possession and found the pass for the layup for Casagrande. Great court awareness by John Brown. And Brindisi up 50-40. 63 seconds left in the half, and the foul on the floor against Peril. Out goes Zanelli for Brindisi. A couple of subs made by Frank Fatucci. As now both teams in the penalties, so Peril will shoot a pair. Gets the first. Brindisi looking for their first away win in this Basketball Champions League season. 5-1 at home, 0-6 away from Apulia. By the Adriatic Sea coast and the heel of the Italian boots. And the Happy Casa lead is 8. We move inside the final minutes. Banks. Stone floating toward the paint. Skip pass sets up the three that misses. Look missed by Darius Thompson outside as Vardy now. Szombathely still within striking distance, and that slam off the alley-oop for Reddick. He now has 9. And Falco just will feel a little bit better as we move toward the end of this first half. Back within 6. Banks with 8 seconds left. Stutters, then shoots for 3. Got it at the buzzer! What a end of half dagger that is by Adrian Banks. Been a quiet first half for him in the main. But getting that tray to go gives Brindisi the 9-point lead at the end of 20 minutes of action. Another high-scoring affair involving Brindisi. They've conceded more than 90 points in 8 of their last 10 BCL games this season. Not quite on pace to do that here, but certainly on pace to score over a century. As you see, Peril with 14 to lead Szombathely. But Tyler Stone with 16 points in that first half. In just under 16 minutes of action, pacing all scores. Take a look at some of the highlights from that first half. Trey Stone, his stats: 6 of 8 from the field, 4 of 4 from distance, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, a couple of turnovers, but 2 steals as well, and a block. Sutton doing very well in his second BCL game. 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting, all from inside the three-point arc. Also a pair of free throws for him. 3 rebounds and 2 steals as well. Falco had the early lead in the first quarter by as many as 9 points at 14-5. Brindisi has led this game by as many as 11 points at 47-36. See another one of the threes from Stone. That bad moment from Daquan Lake, his only field goal attempt of the first half, and less than 6 minutes of action. Parallel his stats, only 3 of 5 from the free throw line, but 5 of 7 from the field, 3 assists, and 1 personal foul. Sutton just needs to be a little bit more controlled, I think. He's clearly got all the skills, the former Big 12 college player. A couple of years in the Las Vegas Summer League as well for Sutton. As Varady, for his part, 8 points in the first half on 3 of 3 shooting. Filipovic with 7 points as well for Falco. Mentioned Stone with 16. Campagrande and Sutton both with 10 points. Luca Campagrande, 3 of 4 from the field. Happy Casa Brindisi shooting higher than 55% from the field. Falco, despite trailing by 9 points, 63% from the field. It's actually Dijon had the best 3-point shooting percentage in a game this year in the BCL. That came against Happy Casa Brindisi, shooting 62% from distance. Falco, for their parts, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. As take a look at the best 2 players for each team. Tyler Stone had 27 points and 19 rebounds against Zaragoza in their loss for Brindisi.
Take the full screen from Radovic. He wants the pass, gets the pass. Great fight. Seeley going up with a great fight in the pick and roll.
On the shot clock, got to shoot it. Madsen in the lane. Madsen with the throwdown. You gotta love it. I mean, he set the screen, went straight to the basket, and it was finish airways.
And Besiktas with an opportunity here to take the lead at halftime. McKissick flies in. Oh my goodness, quite possibly for the play of the half.
More now to McGee, drives the baseline. Oh, nutmeg pass to Ibekwe. And he hits the three. Tell me that's not going to go onto the highlight reel. Look at this pass.
4 seconds left, the three-pointer to win it, yes! Tyler Stone!
Angola just a bit casual, gets it back. Inside, Sela with a massive throwdown. 2 hands, straight down the middle of the key. That's more like it. Looking for the pass. Oh, and there's the pass for the big flush to Sean Thomas with authority. Coburn Brown's vision. That is a picture of perfection from Jerusalem. Inbounds Turk Telecom. They lead by 4 at the moment. Great pass! What a no-look bounce pass! And the throw down by Egemen Gubeng, carrying on his good work. Now he goes off the dribble, and Terry with a big swat just throws it back in Simpson's face. Can they get the 3? Just shot. Oh my goodness! Emmanuel Terry is taking this game over. That's awesome.
Benite goes in and gets Brent the rebound. Oh, Guzman is back. He puts it up. Are you kidding me? Vitor Benite is exceptional tonight. He is just making almost everything that he throws up. Look at this. Behind the back. Wide open.
Some great action in last week's Basketball Champions League. And really nice to see that homemade banner, R.I.P. Kobe. And of course his daughter Gianna, as well as the 7 other people who died in that helicopter accident near Los Angeles on Sunday. I'm Darren Kilfera, back with you from the Arena Savaria in westernmost Hungary. And our halftime score, Happy Casa Brindisi 53, Falco Szombathely 44. And the other big contest that both of these clubs will be paying attention to in Group D of this year's BCL, Besiktas leading Neptunus 38-33 at the half. If Besiktas wins that contest, they need Bonn to lose a couple of games, and it might not even be mathematically possible for them to advance. They just dug too big a hole for themselves. I think they need Bonn and Besiktas to both lose. Bonn this week is hosting Dijon, club currently tied atop BCL Group A alongside Casademont Zaragoza. Szombathely must come back and need Bonn and Besiktas to lose their games as well, I believe. They have much worse tiebreakers. It's still, I think it's still possible for Brindisi needing, they could get in if they do have to win twice, but they would need some help in a joint tiebreak situation. Bonn and Besiktas together. Basically, it's looking bleak for both of these clubs, but it is possible for either of them to advance, but they both must win this game. The loser of this contest has no chance of advancing to the next stage of the BCL this season. This Falco's first dance in the Basketball Champions League after 3 previous trips to the FIBA Europe Cup. All of those European adventures coming since the 2015-2016 season. And Szombathely moves to the head of the Hungarian class, if you will. For their part, Brindisi, even less experience. Played in Euro Cup back in the 2015-2016 season and the Euro Challenge the year before that. But only 2 trophies in Brindisi's entire history. They won the Lega 2 back in 2010 when they first were promoted to Serie A. And then the Lega 2 Cup after they were demoted back to Lega 2 following their 16th place finish in Serie A back in 2010-2011. And their coach, Frank Vitucci, studying his notes from the first half. As both clubs out and ready just about for the start of the second half. Other BCL action, by the way. Peristeri and Bamberg at the half. Peristeri in that Group C encounter leading 41-40 at halftime. And early in the second quarter, Banderma with a 4-point lead at Anwil Włocławek, 33-29. Bonn hosting Dijon tonight, the other material game in Group D. The game starting at 8 p.m. Central European time. Other games elsewhere. Mornar plays Nürnberg. Usten plays Manresa. Elan Bernay play the Antwerp Giants. Sassari hosting Hapoel Holon. And Tenerife against VF Riga. A full slate of BCL action as always as we move toward the second stage, the playoff round. Will either of these teams somehow sneak their way into those second stage contests? 16 clubs will move forward out of the 32 at this stage of the BCL. Zaragoza and Dijon already both through. PAOK, the only club starting this round of games with no chance of advancing from Group D. Neptunus needing to rally at Besiktas. If they do win that game, they would have the upper hand in terms of a tiebreak against the Turkish club. So it's all still everything to play for. Neptunus doesn't have good tiebreakers against these two clubs, so if we wind up with a multiple team tie, then anything could still happen. But where do we go from here as Brindisi with the 9-point lead will inbound to start the second half, taking the pass Darius Thompson. Thompson drives, dishes, good look, far side for 3, no. Thompson though with his own rebound. Gaspardo over to Banks, who's fouled on the floor by Varadi. Second personal foul of the contest for Benedek Varadi. I think it was Gaspardo that missed for 3. Coming off the screen, Luca Campagrande. Inside Thompson, backs up, fades away, and doesn't get the roll or the bounce. Rebound Washington. And Curry the look inside. Dished out for the 3-point look that's missed, but good rebound Redick in the paint. That was Varady missing from outside. And then Peril miscontrolled and then committed the foul against Banks after committing the turnover. Campo Grande over to Adrian Banks. Nice screen set by Gaspardo. Banks into the paint and gets the finger roll. Banks with 7. Brindisi's lead, jointly the largest margin at 11 points in this game. Already to Devon Washington. Goes inside, turnaround, got it. Tough shot for Devon Washington. He played his pro ball in Greece last year with GS Kumis. Averaged more than 10 points a game last year. Is that three-pointer just missing from Campo Grande? Washington the rebound, and now Curry front court for Szombathely. Good look inside to Redick for the easy flush. So Redick in double figures as the foul committed by the American, his second. That was the Banks finger roll, and then the nice slash to the hoop by Redick. Found by Curry for the easiest 2-point buckets. Banks inside Gaspardo in a tangle, releases but misses. Rebound by Perl. He moves into the paint, finds Varady, who kicks outside to Curry but was fouled first. That three-pointer will not count. Varady bumped by Darius Thompson. From the elbow, the shot in from Redick. Up to 13 now for him, as wild shot there from Banks misses. No need to shoot from that deep so soon, but then gets the steal at the other end with Curry poking the ball free and getting the turnover right back. Curry inside, gets the layup. Hustle basketball there from Ron Curry. Former James Madison Duke, all Colonial Athletic Association first teamer back in 2016, as foul committed now by Ron Curry, who actually played BCL ball this season with VEF Riga before coming across to Hungary on the 25th of October. Good position inside for Stone, who can't finish off the glass. And Szombathely, three-pointer, would tie this game up as they move forward in this second half on an 8-0 run right now. After Brindisi opened the scoring in the third quarter. A step back. Redick draws contact and will go to the line. Gaspardo's second personal. So this has been impressive resilience shown by Falco Szombathely. Not impressive free throw shooting formed by Redick, who's barely a 60% free throw shooter in his international professional career. A little hitch at the top of his free throw stroke. It's a second one to go, though, and the Italian lead is only 2 with just over 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter. "17-footer misses from Campo Grande, but kicked outside. Stone can't get the three to go. His first miss from outside the arc tonight. And the crowd starting to feel it here at the Arena Savaria. Vardy to Curry. Vardy drives and can't quite finish off the glass. Banks forward to Stone. He bluffs, kicks outside. Now the three-pointer from Gaspardo, swish. Huge basket just to stem the Falco tide here. Harold goes right, goes strong, and can't get the roll. Rebound fumbled away by Washington. And Stone has the ball stripped. Great defending there from Vardy, and Peril does finish. Strong defending, though, from Vardy to set up the basket at the other end for his Hungarian teammates. Banks now is bumped, but it was the high screen that led to the foul. Stone picks up the personal. And so Szombathely again a single possession deficit as Peril checks out, and Benka back into the game with those 3 fouls. Vardy, what a great strip that is. Good hands as the three-point look to tie the game goes down. Marco Filippovic showing his range yet again. He has excelled himself from behind the arc in this Basketball Champions League season as that attempted entry pass from Banks rolls out of play. And Falco Szombathely all the way back to a 58-58 scoreline. Frank Vitucci will take the timeout.
So they are increasing the aggressiveness on defense, okay? We gotta increase our mindset. Gotta be smarter. Using backdoor on offense and moving the ball more. On defense, now we got you 3 guys. That's a switch on your screens. So on the screens here and on both screens. 3, 4, 5. Doesn't matter. We switch. That's it. Okay? And everybody gotta be involved on rebound. Come on, now. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense. Ella.
That shot from Marco Filippovic means that Szombathely is currently on a 14-3 run since Brindisi scored the first basket of this second half. And Filippovic with 10 points on only 4 field goal attempts, all from 3. He's made 3 of them, has a free throw to go as well. So Falco looking to take their first lead in quite a while as this game seesaws back in the Hungarians' direction. Vardy, well, stripped from Redick, but does well to bank the ball off of Dominique Sutton and get the inbounds, but with less than 5 seconds on the shot clock. Vardy to inbound. Gotta heave it here. Vardy from 30 feet. Yes! Oh. That's Trae Young country out there. And Szombathely in front by 3. Crowd a hooting and hollering as Stone trying to trick his way into the paint and then passes off the foot of his teammate. Sutton not expecting the dish. And the kick leads to another turnover as you see that. Not really an effective offensive play off the inbound, but Got range like that. Flash it and use it. Varady now with 11 points in this game. Felipe drives into the paint, draws contact, but the block shot decisively administered by Tyler Stone. Stone's father, James Bradley, former second-round draft pick of the Atlanta Hawks back in 1979. His mother's name's Sharon, I'd like to point out. Sharon Stone. No relation. As Benka, another shot block, 2 in a row. This time, Gaspardo soaring. More than a little height advantage there on Benka, 6'5" against 6'9". And the wingspan even more pronounced. So again, less than 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and it'll be Quentin Hooker to inbound. Inside to Redick, who fades away and scores. Redick up to the 16-point mark. As we mentioned earlier, that's sort of the dividing line between wins and losses, but not in a good way from Redick's perspective for Falco in the BCL this season. As Curry goes down and then fouls Sutton, who takes exception, and that's just silly from Dominique Sutton. You can't shove the basketball in somebody else's face like that, or torso at least. Watch the play here. That's a bump. Curry leaned in, but doesn't warrant the aggression there from Sutton. Amazingly, at the end of all that, Curry's the one who is in strife. He has to check out. Just sorting out the free throw situation here. Curry takes a seat. And I don't think a technical has been assessed. That run, by the way, has gone all the way up to 19-3 for Falco since it was 55-44 Brindisi early in this third quarter. Well, now we do have Sutton shooting free throws on his own. Sutton only a 57% free throw shooter in his career. Makes the first, though. And the second. So Sutton may be firing himself up. Now Curry at the other end. See, might have matching technicals called. That would be the logical outcome of that little exchange. So Ron Curry, a better free throw shooter historically than his #2 counterpart Sutton. Makes the first here. And can't make the second, so the exchange just does favor the Italian club. So I think what we had there, just to straighten everything out, I think we had, with personal foul on Curry, that sent Sutton to the line, then a technical foul on Sutton, which sent Curry to the line and gives Szombathely possession. I don't think the scoreboard has updated properly. It should be 64-60 for Szombathely. just to up the confusion levels a little bit further here in the Arena Savaria. One of our 3 Central or Eastern European Balkan referees, if you will. I'm just checking, I think, to confirm what the score should be. Nice little Rubik's Cube there on the right side of the screen. You know, it is a Hungarian invention, the Rubik's Cube. Not sure that this game is so boring that you need to have a Rubik's Cube to mess around with. Or maybe that's how they got themselves into trouble in the first place, not paying attention to what's happening on the court. You know, as far as the game itself is concerned, this is just going to slow down the Hungarian momentum, you'd think. Maybe reset things, let Brindisi take some deep breaths. Certainly allows the best players for each team to have something of a timeout. I mean, the 5 players aside are each standing up on the court, but it's the equivalent of half a timeout. I don't really think we need to see a replay of foul shots, do we? No one's encroaching upon Sutton. All a bit strange, but the scoreboard now has been straightened out. It's now 49-47. Besiktas's lead over Neptunus, only 2 in the other crucial game in Group D as far as these 2 teams you're watching are concerned. If Neptunus wins that game, it really opens things up in BCL Group D. If not, Besiktas just about home and hosed. In fact, they would advance to the playoffs if they win that game, as missing wildly was Redick. So Brindisi front court. Stone thought about the 3 from distance. Instead, Stone and position inside. Ball kicked across. 6 on the shot clock. As Banks fumbles. And then the heave from Zanelli misses at the shot clock buzzer, but the rebound pulled down by Gaspardo, then tipped away, and front court for the slam is Szilard Benka. Benka back in the game with those 3 fouls. And the good tip away from Banks. Benka going all the way to the hoop for his first points of this game. Now 1 of 4 from the field. With 3 turnovers to boot, so nice to get something positive in this game, as we are down inside the final 2.5 minutes of this third quarter. Bamberg with the 4-point lead at Peristeri right now. And Envol-Slavek back in front at halftime against Bandirma, 43-42. As the 4 BCL games underway at this moment in time. Stone for 3. Fouled almost and scores. He was bumped down, no call. But the first points of the second half for Tyler Stone. He's got 19 now to lead all scorers from both teams. And the Hungarian lead is 3. As Redick leaves off for Peril, who's checked back into the game. Peril floating the pass, looking for Redick inside. Instead, the steal by Brindisi. Stone, the stutter step, the look from the corner to tie the game. Swish! Adrian Banks floats home the tray. And we are all level at 66 apiece. Falco takes the timeout.
Why we need defense? Tell me why we need defense. They are leaving from this, but why we give them a in 40 seconds? You are died. You are died that you come on +6. After this, you stop for 1 minute, but they are just waiting. You take number 10. You take Sutton. And you take Sutton. And you take Stone. Okay? No, you take Stone and you Sutton. Okay? Yeah? In offense. Let's go, guys, let's go. Put the ball down 4 game.
A little bit of confusion there in the mind of Gasper Okorn as you see that 3 by Stone. Should that have been a chance for a 4-point play? Not sure. But the kick to the corner set up Banks for the 3-point shot as well. And so another exciting finish in prospect as things stand between Falco Szombathely and Happy Casa Brindisi. Stone last week with the 3-pointer with 1.6 seconds to go to win it for Brindisi against Pauk. As foul on the floor. Reddick drawing the contact from Stone. That's the 3rd foul of the game on Tyler Stone, so that's a worrying development for Francesco Vitucci. Reddick, though, that free throw shooting form not great. And have a second chance to restore the Szombathely lead. Can't take it, but the rebound to Benka. And a fresh 14 seconds on the shot clock for Falco Szombathely. Into the paint, the finger roll finish off the glass by Benka. And the full court pressure now broken as Anelli front court. For Happy Casa Brindisi as we hit the minute mark left in this 3rd quarter. Sutton kicks off the open look. Banks for 3. Misses as he stepped on. Rebound Sutton. He goes up strong and scores. Benka wound up on the floor in the paint, and Gasper Okorn certainly wanted a foul. Watch it here. Well, that easily could have been an offensive foul against Dominic Sutton. Not called. And so here we go, onwards and upwards, 68 apiece. Quentin Hooker outside. Pulls up from 17 feet, misses the rebound reached for, but not grasped by Reddick. Four-second difference between shot and game clock as Anelli holds outside. More jostling just on the edge of the paint as Banks fakes, then floats inside and scores. Brindisi back in front as the 3rd quarter drawing to the close. The 3 missed by Reddick. And with 10 minutes to go, the temperature is heating up in Hungary. Another yellow-shirted body goes sprawling. The crowd not happy with the refereeing on display. But Happy Casa Brindisi has to be the happier of the 2 clubs right now with the 2-point advantage as they cling to life in Basketball Champions League Group D. Take a look at some 3rd quarter highlights. The first bucket of the quarter for Adrian Banks, but then it was a big run by Falco, 19-3 and was at some stage, turning an 11-point deficit into a 5-point lead. Eventually maxed out at 66-60, 6-point advantage before Brindisi ended the quarter on their own 10-2 run. As you see the highlights in the background, a quick look at the stat sheet. Tyler Stone leading all scorers, 19 points for Brindisi on 7 of 11 shooting. Zoltan Perel and Javante Redick both with 16 points for Falco Szombathely. Benedek Varadi with 11 points for Falco, and Marco Filippovi with 10. Those the players in double figures for the hosts. As for Happy Casa, it's Stone with 19, Sutton with 12, Banks with 12, Capagrande with 10. 4 players for them, double figures. A couple of shots blocked there for Brindisi in that third quarter as well. As we get underway in the final 10 minutes, Besiktas now with a 6-point lead over Neptunus. So all of this action could be for naught, as the near swipe by John Brown just dragged the ball off his own knee and out of play as Benka drove into the lane. More quick hands. That time Zanelli tipping the ball away from Hooker. Alessandro Zanelli, maybe more of a Liga 2 caliber player, but given another chance to prove his worth in Lega A. As Perel bumped on the other inbound attempt. And the foul called, so 14 back on the shot clock. Perel into the paint, the floater, no! Unkind iron there. Perel doing everything but scoring. Thompson, more contact inside. Perel whistled for the foul. Jostling with Sutton, who's been a flashpoint in this game. Watch the contact there. Sutton with position, and given the benefit of the doubt, if there was any in the referee's minds. Thompson, top of the key. Brown pulls up and scores. Give Brindisi a 4-point advantage. Benka drops off for Zoltan Perel, who's hounded by Brown outside. Redick forces the ball up, and down it goes. Possible 3-point play chance here, as Sutton this time can't use the body weight, although I think the foul actually called against Zanelli for the reach in. And it just did topple down. Another free throw miss, though, for Redick. 2 of 7 on the night, Redick is from the stripe. As into the paint, the attempted alley-oop does not come off, with Brown not in control. At the other end, the flush by Benka. 6 points for Benka. All in the last couple of minutes of game action, as the foul there just called, I think, on Hooker. Or did he snatch the ball away? This time the call goes the Hungarians' way, as you see the drive and stuff by Benka. So the score's level at 72, and Szombathely back in possession. Washington into Redick, who gets the bunny to go. Reddick now with 18. Fox Brown. And then Zanelli, no chance for him to impede the 6'9" American. Reddick was a freshman on the Virginia Commonwealth University team that went from the first four to the final four in 2011 in the NCAA basketball tournament. That amazing run for VCU. They lost to Butler 70-62 in the national semifinal that year. Reddick very much a bit part player then, but he has developed into a fine player and scorer. As that three missed by Stone, and the ball out of play will stay at this end of the court. Reddick's going to take a breather as checking in is Filipovic. Having his best season of his professional career by far, Filipovic, as that ball off of Sutton's fingertip. He's complaining, but just sloppy in possession. Claiming a foul, but just didn't watch the ball, I think, as Perel into the paint and scores to tie, or rather give Szombathely the 4-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Brown outside to Zanelli. Brindisi's offense clogging up a bit here. It's very difficult three-point shot there from Alessandro Zanelli. And then Perel just holding his ground. Referees maybe just letting this game get away from them a little bit. It's all perfectly fair enough. There's no malice there at all. It's just part of a series of physical incidents in this game. Certainly giving the crowd plenty to ponder and complain about, as that effort does not go in from Filipovic on the drive. Zanelli forward. In space, Thompson, but has to hold things up as Filipovic got back defensively. But Thompson, the leaner, no. The rebound, Brown. Jump ball to call as he and Hooker came together. John Brown's body lies a moldering in the paint. 6:54 to go in this fourth and final quarter. Curry back into the game. Possession stays at this end on the jump ball with Brindisi. Luca Campagrande back to Zanelli. Now Brown, 2 on the shot clock, has to pull up from 21 and missed wildly. Rebound falls to Benka off a teammate's tip. Now Washington outside. Sloppy interplay with Hooker, but no harm, no foul from Falco's perspective. Tough shot from Hooker for 3. That's way off the mark. And Sutton again just needs to slow things down, play with some more control. Turnover eventually does come as Curry pulls up outside the arc. He and Brown come together. Again, the crowd can't believe it. Curry might have to shoot. Instead, finds Hooker. Curry didn't want to take that three-pointer. Instead, sets up a different three that's missed from outside by Washington. Not a good three-point shooter. At the other end, layup missed by Campagrande under some pressure, it must be said. But this game turning very sloppy. Curry against Brown. Filipovic kicks outside. Long effort from distance missed. As the shot clock ticked down and Curry missed, so Adrian Banks brings the ball front court. The Falco lead is 4. Off the one leg, the tip after the miss from Curry. Sutton tipping the ball home. And Brindisi claws back within 2 at the halfway mark of the 4th quarter. Benka bumped as he came around the pick. Felipovic, oh, the ankle breaker, and then the left-handed lay-in with Sutton going down. Banks takes a tumble, a steal affected. Here's Washington, the pass front court, the bump by Sutton, and the intentional foul signaled against the lightning rod for happy Casa Brindisi. Dominique Sutton immediately goes to the bench. That's a wild call. A wild foul by Sutton, a good call. Felipovic immediately arms outstretched. And now Sutton mixing it up with some of the stewards here. This is not what you want to see. As the spectator in the Kobe Bryant jersey wanders through the picture. And Sutton is going to take an early shower, it would seem. Disqualifying foul to call. So close the book on Dominique Sutton's 14-point performance. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 assist, and unfortunately some rather physical play as well. As Brindisi takes a timeout just to slow down the tempo a little bit maybe. And now, hold on. This is not good. This is not good. You've got a potential malice in the palace situation if everyone's not careful. Crowds' tempers are fraying. Sutton was not helping. Just got to get those stewards in there, and the stewards have to play their part to calm things down, not interact with the Brindisi players.
We win the game and after we
Go down a little bit.
come on guys, focus.
And you concentrate the battle for around 4 minutes on the clock, so there's a long
Come on,
time
guys.
to play, okay?
Don't worry.
Play together. One thing, on offense, we need to move more without the ball, then with the ball, with the dribbles. Now we start getting tired. Make the ball work, not your dribbles, okay? So we push up, be smart, okay? Come on, guys. Stay together now. Stay together. Stay together. Stay together. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I mentioned the malice in the palace. That's the famous Ron Artest melee, of course. And anytime you see players and fans starting to interact like that with stewards in attendance or not, mind just draws back to that famous incident between the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons. And the stewards, you see 7 of them now behind the Brindisi bench, as eventually Felipovic will go to the line following the initial foul, the disqualifying foul by Sutton. Makes the first, he'll have another. And he gets them both. So Felipovic now with 14 in this game. Just 4 points off his season high in the BCL this year. There's Curry. Good positioning defensively. Drawing the charge there was Banks. That's a crucial stop for Happy Casa Brindisi. Curry tracks back. Zanelli front court for the Italian club. Banks now. Finds Campagrande, then Banks. Thinks about the three. Campagrande will shoot from distance and score. Huge baskets for Luca Campagrande. His fourth game in the BCL this year in double figures. Filipovic. Harold, 7 on the shot clock. Draws a bump, kicks outside to Hooker. He drives the paint, draws contact, and gets the roll. Falco Szombathely 82, Happy Casa Brindisi 77 with just over 3.5 minutes left in this game. 67-63 the Besiktas lead over Neptunas. Campagrande again for three. That one's way off. Rebound falls kindly for Hooker. Curry for three. Yes! Oh yes for Ron Curry. Been a quiet offensive game for him. He's now got 6 as Stone tied up by Curry. And in fact, they call the jump ball, so Curry with the possession arrow pointing towards Falco Szombathely, able to effectively get a turnover there. And this crowd is really feeling it now. Harrell inside looking for Redick, who had cut to the hoop but missed it. Every possession's going to count now for Happy Casa Brindisi, the 4th place club in the Italian Lega A, in real danger of seeing their BCL adventure end tonight. Thompson to Banks. He goes inside and is blocked by Redick, with Curry in close attendance as well. Was Redick with the block, and then on the baseline, Banks' foot out of bounds, taking the ball. So Szombathely maybe just looking to take some air out of the ball here. Redick, though, inside with position. Then he's swarmed into by Brown. So they will inbounds from beneath the basket. Less than 2 minutes remaining in Turkey, that Besiktas Neptunas game. 68-63 for the Turkish club. As Redick goes to the line, that's who Brindisi would want to see there. They did make it a shooting foul, but this time Redick does score. First of the 2 free throws. Leading all scorers with 21 now. And gets both free throws to go. So it's a double-digit lead. And Brindisi running out of clock. Stone. Back to Banks for the 3. Got it! Absolutely necessary, that bucket for Brindisi. Banks with 15. And the near steal, it is going to be made, but then given right back as Thompson was going out of bounds. Filipovic scores, and the lead is 9 for Szombathely, as one of the advertising hoardings is taking a tumble. and I don't think will be relit during this game. Thompson with 1:44 left. Off the screen, banks for three again, around the rim and out. And that may just be all she wrote after Verratti got the rebound. Verratti to Pearl. Milking the clock. Dribbling against Campagrande. Losing his edge there. Verratti, then the three missed, but Redick the rebound. Kicks back outside. Not sure this result for Szombathely, as it looks like it's going to be their win, will matter ultimately, as the foul called against Brown. Because Besiktas now leading 73-66. And that against Brown, goaltending the call, so it's an 11-point lead for Falco. Stone for three, way off. Inside the final minute, and Falco Szombathely is going to win this game and knock out Happy Casa Brindisi from this year's Basketball Champions League. But the result involving Besiktas might put Falco out as well, as that shot blocked on the drive from Pearl. I believe this would be enough to see Besiktas through to the playoffs at the expense of both of these clubs. So despite a very impressive win in the end for Falco Szombathely, as Filipovic scores to make it a 13-point margin, the biggest of the game for Falco. It's all going to be for naught ultimately, as that three-pointer misses from Stone. Ball kicked outside to Banks for three. This time he scores. But only 17 seconds left. Curry will hold. Redick outside to Verratti, and that's going to be it. Falco Volcano Szombathely, a very nice home court win in the Basketball Champions League against Happy Casa Brindisi. Falco up to 6-7. Brindisi 5-8 on the season. But barring a miracle comeback at the end in Turkey by Neptunes, Falco might well still be out as they gather around to hear the news from Turkey, as Adrian Banks has to be ushered off the court as well. If we get the results before our broadcast finishes here from Turkey, we will let you know straight away. But again, as things stand, it's not looking good for Falco, despite that amazing performance from the field, shooting 58.7% in total, 7 of 17, 41% from deep. Brindisi didn't have a bad shooting night either, but Szombathely ultimately with Juvonta Redick leading all scores. As you hear the crowd cheering their club off. Take a look at some of the highlights from this second half. After John Brown opened the scoring in the half, it became the Juvonta Redick show to some extent. He finished the night with 22 points on 9 of 13 shooting from the field, 4 of 9 from the free throw stripe. That dunk by Benka, part of a good second half showing from him. He only had 6 in the game, but all of them came in the second half. Hard graft inside and out in this game for Falco. Zoltan Perel showing his stuff again with 18 points, 5 assists, and 3 turnovers. But see that ankle-breaking move by Filipovic. Got Sutton to go down. Not one of his better moments on a night filled with pluses and minuses for Dominique Sutton. Remember, he was disqualified from the game for a flagrant foul or the equivalent thereof after finishing with 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting and 8 rebounds. Curry with that key 3 laid on, and then the jump ball that he won on Brown is big American Brown drove into the lane. And Curry exulting. The crowd to be in Falco's corner as they were all night. Banks with that 3-pointer laid on, but ultimately it wasn't enough. Some sloppy play from both teams tonight, but Filipovic will be pleased with his performance. Not quite a season high for him in the BCL. In fact, he did jointly tie his 18 points he had against Bonn on game day 4, with that late stuff helping his final tally. So again, our final score here tonight, 93-83 for Falco Szombathely. It's currently 76-69 for Besiktas, so it looks like the miracle will not happen, and Falco will be out of this year's BCL anyway. Won't have the up-to-the-minute standings, I don't believe. We'll take a look at the group table as it currently stands. But with Besiktas about to win and move up to 20 points, and with the tiebreak advantage, they will be through, and Falco Szombathely should be out. Thanks so much for being with us, though, tonight in the BCL. A good night for the Hungarian club. That's it. Bye for now.